Many think this is the worst layout of fucking Silverstone, for fuck's sake. Well, the camera just doesn't work. Hello then, and welcome to Silverstone. It is the international variety of the track here at Silverstone, and it divides opinion. Many people think it is the worst layout of Silverstone, and you have to say it is a rather uninspiring shape, but I still think it's got its place. Anyway, as ever, we'll be starting off with the 25-minute sprint race. It is round 7 of the Evolution Sim Racing Championship, Season 4 of 2024. So yeah, let's take a look at the grid and see how things went in that regard, I suppose. Well, on pole position, it was Jeff Sharp and Chris Holmes firmly cementing his place as a pro driver. He came home in... Stop saying come home. He gridded in second place. Lord Penderbury was then on the second row of the grid with James Hurlow for company. Chris Palmer, then he slapped his Audi S3 RS3 onto the third row of the grid and pole position in category. Jamie Nicholson was then 5th in category. Axel Edwards 2nd in the AM class with Steve Moore 6th in the... Oh, fuck no, I don't care. It's just so tricky. It's been a long day. Maybe my heart's not in the right place to record this right now. But anyway, it's Steve Moore, then Steve Everson, Brian Dodd, and finally Will Thomas. Well then, the green flag at the back of the grid flies, but not properly. There's a jump start at the back there. Couple of jump starts by the looks of things. Looks like pole sitter Jeff Sharp has started well. Like things are panning out all okay thus far. Heading down towards the hangar straight, swinger right. Things looking remarkably calm as it stands. Chris Hulse looking to take the lead, but nothing doing that. I'll tell you what, not really been a huge amount for me to say in these opening stages. Brian Dodd's entered the pit lane. Oh yes, of course, Brian Dodd will have been one of the people that got that slowdown. Well, that is one lap in the book. Let's bring up some race information. Jeff Sharp leading the way. And where is he? Chris Palmer is leading the way in the AM category. And I'll tell you what, things looking a little bit side by side there. Oh no, that's not right. Yeah, Will Thomas and Axel Edwards running close together. Will Thomas, he couldn't qualify, hence his starting position. He, in practice at least, was looking like one of the faster drivers out there. Being pipped to battle it out with Jeff Sharp for pole position. He now moves to the inside of Axel Edwards. And he gets that move done up a position, and that is Chris Palmer just up ahead of him now. James Hurlow also looking like he is very hot on the heels of Steve Moore, which you can See confirmed. Of course, 3 different vehicles. No, 4 different vehicles in the whatever it is in the touring cars. Only the Audis and the Hondas being used today. The 2 Hyundais have not had the vote of confidence passed. This battle still rages on. Hello, looking to go all the way around the outside there. That would be an absolutely sensational move. And I tell you what, it is still there, but it's going to be the outside line on the crucial right-hander of Chapel onto the hanger straight. And Hurlo unable to get anything done there, but an ambitious move which didn't quite pay off for him. They are side by side, and this time it looks like James Hurlo has got the move done. Absolutely sensational move there. He drives off, hopefully into the distance as far as he is concerned. Will Thomas and Jamie Nicholson are very close. He's got a pretty decent run there, has Will Thomas. Let's see how he goes as they head down across the line. It looks to the inside. Jamie Nicholson runs out wide. And I'll tell you what, that is a great move there from Will Thomas. Leaving it all out on the racetrack. And he moves up into 5th position in category. 3, 2, 1. Right, we are at half distance here, and let me tell you, it has been a long watch to this point. But yeah, halfway distance we'll play everybody's favourite game. We'll also take stock of where the we are situation-wise. So let's go through situation-wise first, and then play biggest loser, because then it's something to look forward to, I suppose. Well, Jeff Sharp is leading the way in the pro category. We then have Chris Hulse in second. He's 2.4 seconds back, with Lord Penderbury just over half a second behind him. Will Thomas has been carving his way through the field. There he is, Ortell. Let's flick to oh no, there it is. Oh, here we go. Artsy shot of Will Thomas weaving his way through the first sector. And then we have Chris Palmer. He's leading the way in the AM category. Jamie Nicholson is then in 5th place in the pro category. Axel Edwards is 2nd place in category, and he's got James Hurlo right behind him. But I tell you what, things have all of a sudden closed up here. This could be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, then we've got Steve Everson in 3rd place, and Brian Dodd in 4th place in the AM category, and James Hurlo is in 6th, just 0.7 of a second behind Jamie Nicholson. That is what we are watching currently. And then Steve Moore in 7th place, 3.4 seconds off the back of this. So we'll keep this one on screen at the moment, whilst we bring up the information on biggest loser. Well, biggest winner in the pro category is quite clearly Will Thomas. Biggest loser is James Hurlo. He's minus 2 positions. And then, fucking hell, I get complained at for not featuring the AM category, but there's not even a biggest winner and a biggest loser. They're all in exactly the same position that they started in, and they're all separated out by a distance. Oh well, I'm sure I'll get some more complaints. I won't cry into my cup of tea over it. Yeah, suppose we'll crack on. I'll let you know if anything interesting happens. Well, this truly is dull as fucking dishwater, so, I mean, I've got to do something for the highlights, so I'll just run you through a couple of the cameras that I've created for this one. I always forget to use the cameras that I've done, but I thought this one was quite an interesting one. Oh, no, that's not quite an interesting one on, oh, fuck's sake, fucked it. Let's go to somebody that, there we go. Nose camera I put inside the grille, so you can see some lovely detailing. The carbon fibre on the front splitter, just a bit more of an interesting view than normal. Interestingly so, let's jump on board with Chris Hulse and then look back. I've placed a camera inside the rear exhaust pipe, and obviously I've chosen Chris Hulse so we can feature Lord Penderbury a little bit more in the highlights. Yeah, a couple of interesting camera shots there. What else have we done? Oh, driver. This is quite a nice view. So I've basically just created this camera view so we can really just get a feel for what the driver's doing, and I have to say, Chris Hulse does seem to be sat a very long way away from his steering wheel. Those arms are incredibly straight, and that's not ideal for racing. You want to be closer. You want to have your arms bent. It gives you more control. If they're out straight like this, it's not very good. And interestingly, he is also seemingly running hacks, because you can see his feet aren't moving whatsoever. We're on the hanger straight, which isn't overly useful, but if we switch to Lord Pendlebury, definitely not running hacks here, because you can see there, brakes and pedals working absolutely fine. But yeah, any other interesting cameras that I've created? I mean, I have obviously created these drone type shots. They're very nice and interesting, and obviously we'll feature Lord Pendlebury again, because he is by far and away the person that needs to feature most in these races. But yeah, that's kind of it really. There are a couple of drone shots, but I'll let you obviously enjoy those as and when I use them. Like now! Ooh, I completely forgot to get about this one. I have edited the chopper camera, so it's a bit more exciting. We're a bit closer to the action, a bit lower down, but I've made sure we're not going to unrealistically go through bridges. That is Brian Dodd pulling out the way of Chris Hulse and Lord Pendlebury. But oh no, there's contact. That's not what you want. Smoke everywhere. Chris Hulse goes round. The chopper stays with him. Brian Dodd, has he survived? He has survived. He's on the inside of Pendlebury. Oh, that was a little bit close. That is unfortunate stuff there. Chris Hulse was running extremely well in the pro category, as you'd expect from such an absolute pro in the touring cars. Yeah, well, we'll go and take a look at those replays if I remember. Now, I want to make use of this onboard camera. Oh, actually, this is a shocking camera to actually look at it on. Well, big impact in the side. That's Brian Dodd and Pendlebury going through. There's Will Thomas. Let's jump on board with Pendlebury then, and oh, actually that's not going to work. I don't know. Let's just look at Pendlebury a bit. I think we need to see him a bit more. So this is Pendlebury's view, sort of, and Brian Dodd on the inside. He couldn't have been any more on the inside. Rumour has it Chris Hulse didn't get the call that he was on his inside. And let's actually let's take a look at it from a decent... Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Fuck's sake. That's alright, I'll cut this bit out. Drone hanger straight. Let's have a look at it from this angle. So Chris Hulse is on the outside. Brian Dodd letting him through, but yeah, Chris Hulse thought that he was being given the line, and sadly wasn't. Congratulations on Jeff Sharp. Across the line he goes and claims the first victory of the evening, but his third victory of the season. Takes it by just over 4 seconds. And then we'll head to Chris Palmer. He comes across the line to take another victory in the AM class. Well then, let's take a look at those results. Starting off with the pro category then, Jeff Sharp, he takes the victory with Lord Pendlebury just over 4 seconds back, with Will Thomas just under a second behind Lord Pendlebury in the end. Did close that gap but couldn't do anything. He rounds up the podium. Chris Hulse, after that unfortunate contact with Brian Dodd, he finished in 4th with Jamie Nicholson, then in 5th. James Turlow was in 6th with Steve Moore in 7th. Taking a look at the AM category then, only 4 runners unfortunately this week, but Chris Palmer has fully capitalised, taking the victory by a staggering 12.8 seconds from Steve Everson. Axel Edwards was then in 3rd place with Brian Dodd in 4th, and I'll tell you what, AM category are going to absolutely nail me to the flag or the cross or whatever, but I have missed Steve Everson making an overtake, so you know what, maybe I'll find the replay of it and shove it in there. And maybe I won't, who knows. But anyway, we will take a very quick break, and then we'll be back with some more shoddy highlights of the feature race. Well, this is what happened then, and this is a terrible camera to look at it on, but... Well, what did happen? This was allegedly Steve Everson getting past Axel Edwards, but... oh, clobbering that curb, but I don't know. Well, they can't complain at me for not including the move. I don't know why it's not actually a move. Oh, Axel Edwards came back on track after... Okay, let's swing around to here. Oh, fuck's sake, I need to change this fucking camera angle. And... oh, there's contact with Brian Dodd. And into the barriers he went. That's not good at all. And unfortunately, that is how he lost the position. That was on the last... Well, hello then, and welcome back to Silverstone for round 8 of the... I was going to call it the BTCC. That's very incorrect. The Evolution Sim Racing Season 4 of 2024 Championship. We are... did I say we were at Silverstone International? Fuck knows, I don't give a shit anyway. It's the 45-minute feature race with mandatory pit stop. No tyres if you want to finish well. But fuel if you want to finish well, because you won't get to the end if you don't take fuel. Right then, let's take a look at the grid. If I could find a fucking camera. That sort of do. Chris Hulse then is on pole position with James Hurlow alongside. The second row of the grid is made up of Simon Moo with Jeff Sharp for company. It's then Lord Pendlebury that rounds out the pro category. We then have, leading the way in the AM category, Chris Farmer with... is that Axel Edwards? It is Axel Edwards. Christ, there was fuck all people in this race. Only 9 people apparently. Axel Edwards and then Steve Everson, but I mean, that means that we're missing somebody. How is the 9 people showing? Who have I missed out? Oh, Will Thomas. Where the fuck are you, Will Thomas? Oh, you're on pole position. That's... oh, fuck yeah. Absolute shit show, mate. There you go, Will. You now feature. So, yeah, Chris Hulse isn't leading the way. It's Will Thomas. Right, okay, well, that's the end of the music. So, yeah, let's pretend I've done it well and crack on. Right, then. Let's see how they go. The engine notes rise. And they are off. Chris Hulse switches to the back and behind. Oh, it's Steve Moore. Steve Moore's got an absolutely cracking start there. Was looking up the inside of Chris Hulse, but it did not work. What? That's not the fucking camera I've set up. Why is that looking so shit? Jesus Christ. Well, we're going to have to work out what's going wrong there at some point during this race. Let's face it, there's a lot of boring sections to this race, so we'll be able to see then. Let's see if my hanger straight drone is working. It is. Very nice indeed. Swinging pound, the right-hander of Stowe, and then heading down the hill to whatever this is, Vale, I suppose. And that's Chris Hulse getting it a little bit wrong, and then James Hurlow, he's up the inside. Oh, through goes Hurlow! Right where Hamilton did it. We're going to have a replay of that. But to my eye, it looks very similar to that iconic Hamilton move. Palmer up the inside of Sharp. Ooh, Brendan getting very close to the rear end. Oh, very, very close to the end of... the back of Steve Moore. Oh, Steve Moore now sending it on Jeff Sharp. Oh, everyone's all over the place. Oh, Pendlebury now almost going back into Steve Moore's rear end for the second time in 10 seconds. Oh, who's that going on? Was it Axel? No, it wasn't. It was... yeah, Steve Everson, he went well out wide there. Not sure quite what happened. And it's not worthy of replay, so we won't find out either. Hulse runs a little bit wide, and he's got Palmer. Once again, the Chris twins are going at it. Palmer sends it up the inside. Hulse gets a better drive, though, on that outside line. And are they going to go 3 wide? Jeff Sharp certainly thinking about it after the chaos he caused last week. He's clearly itching for some more. Is he going to go through? Oh, he just about gets it stopped. Can he get both of them? He will certainly try. He's later on the brakes. Can he keep his nose in there? Oh, not quite. Oh, that's... Oh, it's another Jeff Sharp incident. The man's an animal. We will take a look at that replay, because that certainly is worthy of note. And now Jeff Sharp is on the outside of Chris Palmer. Trusted that Chris Palmer wouldn't do what he just did to Chris Hulse. I'll tell you what this has done. It has very much allowed Will Thomas and James Hurlow to just piss off. Jeff Sharp will go in pursuit of James Hurlow now. And at this juncture, I think it's appropriate to bring up some race information, so I'll do just that. Oh, Chris Palmer is... I mean, I mentioned it in the highlights last week. Ruffling the feathers of the pro drivers, and he is doing it yet again. And is that Pendlebury up the inside of Steve Moore? It might be. It's tricky to tell from this angle. Oh, Jesus Christ, I have fucked one of my cameras by accident. Oh, well, I'll have to fix that in a minute. Actually, I could just reload the cameras. I'll do that when I'm not actually commentating. But, to be honest, this battle between Moore and Pendlebury is the only close battle on track. Right then, let's see if I've sorted the cameras out. Oh, I have indeed. The glorious drone from Sector 1 is back up and operational. Anyway, it is a couple of weeks since we did this race. Oh no, actually it was last week. Either way, my main memory of this race was that it was bloody boring. So it may be a case of me just checking in with you at the end, but yeah, we'll see. Well then, this is another look at James Hurlow's overtake. Now, I've tried to pick a camera that really kind of gets the Hamilton-esque approach. And you see, he's up the inside of Moore, then up the inside of Hulse, and that's the moment. Through goes Hurlow. I forgot his name then for a second. Not sure if you could tell. But, yeah, absolutely cracking move, James Hurlow. Oh, and that's Steve Moore going out wide. And that will surely give Pendlebury the opportunity to get past him, and you can see there Pendlebury's on the inside and ahead, and he's got that move done before they get to Stowe. So that's Pendlebury up to 4th place in class. He's got 3.1 seconds to Jeff Sharp, and Jeff Sharp is looking very interested in the rear end of one James Hurlow. He's closed that gap quickly. Jeff Sharp looks to the inside. He's later on the brakes than Hurlow, and through he goes. Good clean move there from Jeff Sharp, and that puts him up into 2nd place. He is 5.2 seconds off the back of Will Thomas. He has just set the fastest lap of the race, Jeff Sharp, so he'll be confident that he can start closing that gap to Will Thomas. Well, Chris Hulse then has really been closing the gap on Steve Moore. This is the battle for 5th place in the Pro category. And they have got Axel Edwards just ahead of them. He is in 2nd place in the AM category. Oh, should probably change camera. There we go, that's a bit better. So that's the update. I'll keep an eye on this battle, because there's not much else going on, but yeah, we'll... oh, hello. It looks like Hulse has got a decent run. Looks to the inside. Late on the brakes. Gets it stopped on the apex, but potentially a bit too much, because that allows Steve Moore to just drive around the outside of him. He's going to stay on the inside as they head through Beckett's. Is it Beckett's, that section of track? Well, I know it's coming out of Beckett's. Either way, they're side by side down the Hangar Straight. I know what that one's called. Chris House on the inside, Steve Moore on the outside. Steve Moore later on the brakes, but goes a fair bit wider, and that will cost him. And Chris House makes that move. He is then up to 5th place in class. And what this has done has allowed Steve Everson to close in on this group. Steve Everson running in the 3rd and final position in the AM category. And whilst we're talking about them, I obviously don't like to talk about them that much, but here is Chris Palmer fraternising with the pro category. He's leading the way, 7 seconds ahead of Axel Edwards. Oh, Steve Everson's crashed apparently. There he is. Not sure what happened. I'll take a look and see if it's replay worthy. And well, I'll tell you what, he's got a caved in front end, hasn't he? That is not a pretty sight. And his car's not looking good either. Sorry, Steve, couldn't resist. Wow, the battle of the Audis has started, because that is Chris Palmer, and he has gone up the inside of James Hurlow. He's tried to go up the inside of James Hurlow, gets the exit slightly wrong though, and I think that's going to allow Hurlow to come back at him. Pendlebury has been closing in on these two as well, and he's going to be looking to get involved. Well then, we are nearly at half distance in this one. So let's take stock of where we are. And oh, I tell you what, Pendlebury has looking like he's making a move up the inside of Hurlow. This is for that final step of the podium in the pro category, and he makes the move stick. Slight mistake from Hurlow on the exit of club, and that is unfortunately, oh, and he goes around nearly, oh, he holds it together, but that's going to cost him some time. So yes, anyway, we will take stock of where we are. So let's take a look at race leader. That is Will Thomas. He is out ahead, and Jeff Sharp has been closing that gap down, but in the last, well, 13 minutes or so, he's only closed in by about half a second. So he's going to have to speed up his rate of, I don't know, closure, I suppose. If he wants to win this one. We then have Pendlebury now in 3rd place. James Hurlow's 1.8 seconds back in 4th, with Chris Hulse in 5th, and Steve Moore. What's happened to Steve Moore? Has he been for a pit stop? Let's have a look. He has been for a pit stop, so yeah, we'll wait to see where he comes out on all that. But we do know he was battling with Chris Hulse before the stops. And then in the AM category, there is our leader. That is Chris Palmer leading the way. He has got a 9.5 second lead over Axel Edwards, and then Steve Everson. We obviously saw that he'd stoved his front end in, and yeah, unfortunately for him, he is 9.5 seconds off the back of Edwards. So, so yeah, when I say the AM category do a good job of spreading themselves out so they're equally spread apart, they yeah, well, they're within like half a tenth, what? Oh fuck it, I don't know, I don't care. Let's stop talking for this point. Right then, full disclosure, I was accidentally recording on the wrong screen, and I can't be asked to go back. I've gone back about a lap because this was the only thing that actually happened from an interesting perspective. So yeah, this is the battle between Steve Moore and Chris Hulse. And it looks like Hulse has got a decent run. In fact, I know he has, because I've just commentated on it for no fucking reason. And he's up the inside at Abbey. Steve Moore much later on the brakes there, but can't make it around the outside. And Chris Hulse elevates his position. He is now 5th in the pro category. And for those mathematically challenged, that relegates Steve Moore into 6th. Well then, so draws to a close. Quite possibly the shortest highlights video we've ever had here on Evolution Sim Racing. I really am not sure how I'm going to drag it out. And we're on board with Will Thomas as he heads into the final sector. There's Jeff Sharp behind him. Jeff Sharp has been closing that gap, but not by enough. It stands at 3.2 seconds. And Will Thomas crosses the line once he's round this corner to take the victory with Jeff Sharp in 2nd place. And here is Chris Palmer, has put in 2 incredibly solid weeks worth of performances. First at Indy Road, now here at Silverstone. Apologies, there is a young child being exercised in the background, but that takes nothing off of the shine of Chris Palmer's victory.
It's the incident of the week.
Well, hello then, and welcome to Incident of the Week. After the roaring success that was my post-race analysis of Axel Edwards driving last week, I thought we'd turn it into a regular feature. So each week we will randomly select an incident for us to analyse, and we don't sit on the fence here at Evolution Sim Racing, so we are going to be apportioning some blame and holding people accountable for their poor driving. So it'll come as no surprise to anyone to see Jeff Sharp on the screen, and this was pretty much the only incident of round 8 of the season, the feature race here at Silverstone International. Yeah, let's crack on with a bit of analysis. Oh, the other thing to say is this analysis will only last as long as the music does. It's going to be a nice short snappy feature. So yeah, Jeff Sharp on the outside of Chris Hulse going into that final chicane. And you have to say Jeff Sharp has very much earned his right to some space, but things start changing just about here. Chris Hulse is on the preferred line, and as we roll through, we can see that Chris Hulse has been able to carry that added momentum and is well ahead of Jeff Sharp. Well, I say well ahead of Jeff Sharp. There's still an overlap, but he is ahead of Jeff Sharp. Now, if we take a look at this view, you can see that there is an overlap, but it's only a tiny overlap, and you could perhaps make the case that Jeff Sharp should have perhaps kind of withdrawn from the move at this point, but Chris Hulse does equally turn in as if he's not there. So really, who am I going to blame for this one? The music stopped, so well, unfortunately we're going to have to end it there, folks. So thank you very much for watching, and join us next week for another incident of the week. Starting then with the AM category, just 3 of them racing, so if one of them didn't go on the podium, that would frankly have been impressive. Chris Palmer takes the lead by just over 18 seconds to Axel Edwards, with Steve Everson then 30 seconds behind. And then in the Pro category, we had Will Thomas taking the win. 2.4 seconds back was Jeff Sharp. Lord Pendlebury, he was 14 seconds back. James Hurlow was then in 4th place, with Chris Hulse in 5th, winning out in that battle with Steve Moore, who ended up finishing in 6th. Now, let's get rid of that information and bring up those championship standings. Starting off then with the AM category, Steve Everson, he continues to lead the way. He's on 146 points, with Axel Edwards 15 points back on 131. It's then just 6 points back to Chris Palmer. Whilst he didn't start the season, Chris Palmer, as I said, he is really coming on strong at the moment. He will no doubt have Edwards and Everson looking over their shoulders. Mickey Dolan unfortunately couldn't take part in tonight's racing, and that really has put him away off of the lead in the championship when he started so well. Then have Brian Dodd in 5th place. He's up 1 position to 5th place on 75 points. It's then Travis Dorado on 65 points, with Paul Nicholson still trouble with his rig. He's in 7th on 30 points. Now heading over to the pro standings. Jeff Sharp has plucked the lead of the championship from Lord Pendlebury's grasp. He's on 169 points. Pendlebury's in second on 155. It's then a bit of a gap back to James Hurlow in third place. He's on 87 points, just 4 points ahead of Chris Hulse. Chris Hulse has jumped 3 positions in this evening's racing, and that frankly suggests he is well at home in the pro category. Steve Moore, he is then in 5th, just 1 point back on 82 points, and then just 4 points behind him is Jamie Nicholson in 6th on 78. Dan Slattery is then in 7th on 62 points, Will Thomas in 8th on 56 points. Well, thank you very much for joining us. As we say several times during the course of these videos, if you would like to come and join us, it's evolutionsimracing.com, and nice little image there of Chris Palmer to end on. But yeah, next week we will be heading to... this is Brazil! We're going to Interlagos, and we're going to be in the GT3s, so fucking yippee for me, I suppose. But yeah, we will catch you for next week's highlights, probably in about 3 weeks.